at the moment, okay?
What do you not need at the moment?
Your attitude. Ugh.
Things might be a little spicy tonight. And it's not because we had sriracha chicken for dinner.
No.
The Kings are tired.
I'm real tired.
Are
you serious?
What do you mean I'm serious?
Just get on with it.
I just had to think about which one to pick, what to talk about. My brain's not
Dear
functioning
heavens.
properly at the moment.
I'm too tired for this. Can you please just go on? This is episode.
What? We're just gonna jump right
blah.
into it.
Yes, let's do it. Go.
It's episode 24. In case you're wondering.
Okay.
Strong opinions.
I wasn't.
Weekly held. This is my very frustrated wife, Allie. I am Will. Let's do it.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Before we dive into the topic of the hour, which is
The hour. Good night. Okay.
the hour just being like the current topic,
Okay.
not like we're gonna talk for an hour, Allison.
I hope
Jeez.
not.
My goodness. All right. Before we dive into the topic du jour, which is the debacle that was travel yesterday.
Yeah.
Quick background. We went to the Final Four.
Yeah. War Eagle, anyways.
Got a hat. It was so fun.
Still great to be an Auburn Tiger.
Still good. We lost.
It's all right.
And our trip was, I think you could compare our trip to the game. It was an incredible first half and a very rough second half.
Yeah. It's true.
It was me, Allie, and our daughter Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fun. Our daughter's love language is
Quality
time, and she got a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, it was fun. We went to Austin first.
Well,
we
flew Montgomery to Dallas.
Then we got a rental car and drove from Dallas to Austin because otherwise we would have had to fly to Phoenix, then back to Austin, and it would have taken like 6 hours longer.
Yeah.
It was just faster to drive, so we did.
And it was great. So smooth getting out there.
Her family was in Austin. It was great. Palmer was fantastic. Traveling with one child is like
game changer.
Completely different than traveling with three. Not to mention a 5-year-old versus a 5'2" and 5'3" and 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Just like completely different travel. It was awesome.
Oh, it was great.
We had a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to go eat some good barbecue with her family.
Mm-hmm.
We had just like this really special breakfast in Austin at this place called
Snooze.
Mm-hmm. That morning it was just us because her family slept in and we don't ever sleep in, so we went and got breakfast, just us, and it was so perfect. Even the bug that I found while we were eating, and then I got like a discount.
Okay.
Our breakfast was half off. Okay. So like great first half of the trip. Then we went down to San Antonio.
We drove down to the game.
And the game was going great. We were in the nosebleeds, but like
we were there.
We were still there. It was still super electric. It was fun. We were right beside some Florida fans, but they were very nice Florida fans.
Yeah.
And first half was awesome. We went into the half in the lead and we were feeling good. Then we lost. Then we weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
So we came back to Austin that night.
Drove back to Austin.
Because the next day we had a flight at 8 a.m., 8 o'clock out of Austin. We also had a rental car that we had to return.
So we were going to return the rental car in Austin.
6 o'clock.
Austin to Dallas, Dallas, Montgomery. That's going to be our journey home.
Flight was going to be at 8 o'clock. We were going to be back in Montgomery by noon.
Yeah, we were connecting at like 10 in Dallas.
And we walk in.
And like really, everything in this trip had gone so smooth.
Yeah.
You know.
We dropped the rental car off. Super smooth.
Even before then, like Palmer Spirits, like everything literally, like parking spots, great.
Dinners,
timing on
meals,
things.
Waits.
You know, everything
attitudes.
was like
great.
Wow, this is going so great. You know, what a fun memory we all made. And it's still a fun memory.
Oh, yeah. No. The trip is not tarnished.
Then Sunday happened.
But then Sunday happened. And we had a great memory of a trip, and now we just have a unforgettable memory of a trip.
So true.
Dropped the car off at 6. Flawless drop off, super easy. You literally just drive in and walk out of the car and keep going. And then we kind of figured something was going to be up the second we walked in to the airport at 6 a.m. and already their checkpoint line was like,
well, that's just Austin in general.
It is, but like it was intense, way more than it seemed like they normally was. It was wrapped around here, way across the entire building, wrapped around here. Like
just
it was
security,
it was insane. It was insane. We get through that, and then we see that our flight has been delayed.
Yeah.
First hiccup of the day. Generally a pretty small hiccup. Your flight gets delayed, MBD, you just kind of like reorganize some flights and you're fine. Flight was at 8. It gets moved to 10. Our connecting flight is at 10:15, so like no chance we're getting that.
Chance we get it.
So I start trying to look at flights in Dallas that we can change to, and there are like none. Absolutely zero flights. Not even flights to like connecting places then back to Montgomery.
Yeah.
And our flight, before we like, it gets to be around like 9 o'clock, and our flight gets pushed back again to like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And we were just like, by this point, Allie had found a flight that was at 2:40, 2:52.
I found like a 2:50 flight out of Dallas. So I look at Will and I was like, look, this has already been bumped back. Let's just rent the car again.
Yeah.
Let's just drive to Dallas. It's 3.5 hours
we can
or
get
something
there
like
before
that.
This next flight
Let's
takes
just
off.
Drive, go. And we're like, yep, that's the right choice.
So before we leave the airport, we like book the rental car to make sure we don't leave Austin security again to then have to try and get back in it. Meanwhile, like while she's figuring all this out, I've been like waiting in this like American Airlines customer support helpline, and let me tell you, I don't understand some people.
Well, that's
day
for another day.
The day was.
Can we please just focus on the story at hand? We don't need to just go off that way yet. Okay, let's just keep on trucking. Okay, so we decide to get the rental car, and as we're leaving Austin, and we're like, let's just get to Dallas and see what we can do. Because we'll get there in time for this 2:42 flight. Maybe there's space. Not a ton of people are going to Montgomery, Alabama. There's got to be room. We get word that your mom needs to head back to Athens because she has work the next day, and she wasn't really.
My mom was watching.
Your mom.
We have 3 kids, so my mom came down to watch the boys for the weekend. We were supposed to be back by noon. By the time my mom found out like all this stuff was getting delayed, my mom was like, well, I can stay and watch the boys, but tomorrow she works at Edward Jones' office, the person.
Okay. Whatever. She needs to get back to work. So there's like the added pressure of we need somebody to come and watch the boys because she's got to go. I've got to get back. Somebody's got to get back. So we like have to make it home. We get to Dallas. We return the rental car, and we get to Dallas at like noon.
Before you just glossed over our car ride back into Dallas. And there's a very important part of the story that happened, which is this is Allie's first time in Dallas.
Yeah, I guess I've only ever been into the Dallas airport a couple times.
So we are now entering Dallas, and we are driving and all of you know this due to Laracon last year. The big topic of Dallas is the roads, and we are driving in to Dallas, and Allie we get to this like weird junction where all of a sudden all the roads just start going into the sky, and they start like
one's
doing
on top,
all this,
one's going under, one's going around.
And what did you say? Allie looks at it all. We're we're exhausted. We're like trying to get to the airport.
I'm
we're
like
all
stressing.
kind of a little
I'm
stressed.
Like looking at flights and
all
stuff.
Of a sudden, out of like complete silence, Allie just goes, "What did you say? You called it?"
It's like, what is with this road spaghetti? I'm sorry.
And I looked up, and I was not paying attention. Like I was paying attention to driving, but I was not like
taking in
the scenery. And I just look up, and I'm like, oh my word, that is exactly what this is. It is full on road spaghetti. And then you said something like, I don't trust
Joe Schmo in his broken down whatever car has to navigate these roads along with us who we're not from there. I'm like, this is dangerous. Yeah. That is like I'm having to have way too much trust in other people to do all of this.
We're barely navigating this, and Country Bumpkin's trying to navigate these noodles.
Do this. I'm like,
she says trying to navigate these noodles. And I'm just like, that is like the most perfect.
Having it.
That is the most perfect analogy for like Dallas roadways.
Yeah.
And then at some other point, you were just like, roads should not be in the sky.
No, I'm a firm believer of that.
Anyway, all right, moving past that
we get to Dallas.
Hilarious. It just out of nowhere.
12:30.
Road spaghetti. We get to Dallas. We drop off the car. Once again, super easy. Love rental cars.
Totally.
Very easy to drive.
Palmer's in a great mood.
Palmer's doing great.
Took a nap in the car.
We told her we weren't getting our flight and we were getting another rental car. Homegirl like leaps for joy. She's pumped. She's like, I don't know why, but she loves a rental car.
So there's this 250 flight or whatever, and we're like, look, maybe we can get on it. So we get in, we go to American Airlines. We explain.
We have to go through security, through the gates, and then like, I don't know if y'all have ever been to Dallas.
Yeah.
We're like getting pretty close to when the flight should take off, and it's like down an escalator, through an underground tunnel that's like the size of a football field. Back up another giant escalator.
Meanwhile, I think at this point we had gotten on standby for that flight. Like
we had standby tickets.
Yeah.
So it's like if there are extra seats, like we are at the front of the line.
So Will's like running with Palmer on the suitcase.
I don't know if y'all should see the video on Twitter that I put up.
She's sitting on the
suitcase and just.
She's great.
Just a little passenger princess. She thought she didn't know all of this stressful stuff was going on, and she was having the time of her life.
Yeah. So we get to the gate. And plenty of time for Will to explain, like, look, we missed our flight earlier because of a delayed flight. And that Austin flight, this whole time, keeps getting pushed back. Will explains, we've got 2 boys at home. We need at least Allie on this flight.
Yeah, like
if not Allie and Palmer.
And like we go, I'm going up so gently because of what happened at the other airport and how people were like behaving.
People were ugly to those people.
I mean, the airlines people were ugly. The customer people were ugly. So I'm going up to this counter just like slowly, and the person's just like, I'm not taking any questions yet. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Like, I'll come back in a second. Like, no worries. You know, like, they're just like, wah, 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 so
we're on standby.
5 or 10 minutes later, I get a chance to go up there, and I'm trying to just explain, like, hey, we don't have childcare after tonight. Somebody has to get on a flight.
Mm-hmm. So then, while all of this is happening, terrible weather in Montgomery. It's under tornado watches all day.
So, like flight, like
awful.
We're like, are the flights even gonna get lifted off? Because it's been like tornadoes throughout Montgomery that day.
So
insane.
We're on standby for the 2:42 flight. Mm-hmm. Are we gonna make it? Are we not? And it looks as though think I'm gonna get on it.
Right.
And then I'll get home.
It seems normal.
It's fine. They'll stay, and then it's all good.
Everybody's kind of boarded, and they're kind of looking around like, oh, we've got some space or something. And then like 4 airline employees, a couple pilots, a couple hostesses, flight attendants. Sorry. I don't know what it's called. There's like a terminology for it, but they bum a seat on the flight for free, where they're just like, hey, we're gonna take some seats so we can get we're gonna go to Montgomery ahead of time, so that we don't have to be like last minute something.
I don't know.
Anyway, I understand it, but it was so frustrating. So they take 4 or 5 seats, and then they end up having, because of the weather, they have to remove weight from the flight because they're these little airplanes, so there's like weight limitations on them. So they're like, all right,
they weight restrict the plane.
They kick 5 people off, and then they close the gate, and the airplane starts backing out. And by this time, like the manager of like the whole American Airlines ticketing situation is there to like try to calm people down, help them get like reimbursements, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And all 5 of those guys look at him And he's like, all right, what can I do for y'all? And they say, well, a bit of a situation. We are military.
All of them.
And we all
Air
have
Force.
to report for duty tomorrow in Montgomery.
Yeah.
And you could just see the guys
just like
his eyes are just like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Because there's apparently some like military order that got put in where it's like military, if you are on a plane, are the last people to get kicked off of a plane.
Yeah.
Because
and
you're supposed to be
military.
Right. And then also just like for the purpose of like they're supposed to be reporting. They don't get leeway like most normal people do. So like you're the last person that gets kicked off, and the person's just like, you could just tell they're flabbergasted. And at this point, me and Allie are just like,
so
guess we'll just take a back seat here.
So, then we go back to American Airlines and they say like, look, we got to get home. And so there was a 9 flight.
906 or something.
I don't know. And so there was a 1 seat available. And I was able to get confirmed on it. It was going to leave at 9, land in Montgomery at 11. And they gave a hotel situation.
Yeah, there's a 10 o'clock flight the next day. So me and Palmer get our tickets for the next day at 10. They give us free meal vouchers and hotel vouchers to like be fine.
I was going to fly home late. They're just going to stay.
And by this point, it's like 2:45, 3 o'clock-ish. And now it's like, well, we've got 6 hours till Allie leaves. And then we'll go to the hotel at some point before that. We've got a whole lot of time to waste in DFW. And let me tell you, we made the most of it.
We did. I think if you asked Palmer what was your favorite part of the trip, actually somebody today at school asked her, she said the escalators.
The escalators. We went up and down at least 30 escalators. She loved the floors. You know how they've got like the moving sidewalk floors? She thought that was like the coolest thing ever. So we did those.
Train.
Then they've got like the train that goes around the most gigantic spread out airport I've ever seen. And we just ride like the full loop and like kids keep getting off and on. And Palmer's like acting like she owns the place because we've already been to like 20
hours.
stops. You know, like by this point she feels like the airports are. Have any of y'all seen like the movie Terminal with Tom Hanks? Palmer was basically Tom Hanks at this point. She was feeling at home. Oh yeah, she was great.
I mean, really, she was like, we were playing games with her. It was it was we
like,
made the most of it.
For being stuck in an airport, the airport part was not terrible. It was the fact that like, oh man, like now we've got like my mom is trying to like scramble to get back home. We're trying to like call people to be like, hey, can somebody come sit with the boys?
So, meanwhile, while this is going on, we get the plan of, okay, Will's mom can put the boys to bed, and I'm going to be home at 11. My grandparents volunteered.
They're like 80, and we're like, y'all can't do this. That's too late. And it's like bad weather, too.
Yeah, but my Nana and Papa insisted that they wanted to sit here at the house with the boys so Will's mom could get back home. And we were like, okay. So that's the plan, that once I land in Montgomery, I'll come back home and Nana and Papa will leave our house and drive, 20 minutes to their house.
Insane.
So
insane.
We eat dinner, we get some Frosties.
Which, like, we've got, like, the truck's in Montgomery. So, like, we are having to, like, give her the keys. Allie's going to drive my truck back to the house. Me and Palmer, when we get there tomorrow, we don't have anybody to pick us up. So it's like,
we'd go back and get it.
So it's like, we're trying to, like, navigate literally, like, 20 plans and try to weave them together into something that'll work.
Yeah.
And
so
we have a nice little dinner.
Frosties. Great.
It was great.
We go back to the gate and just
hang out for a little bit. And then like we start getting to the point where it's like, okay, I guess we should probably get to the airport so Palmer can get some sleep for tomorrow. And then we're saying bye to Allie, and Palmer's just like,
she just starts to cry.
And then Allie starts to cry too.
Well, yeah.
Like
of course so. I mean, I don't want to leave.
So I'm just like looking at my girls crying, and I'm like, one more Hail Mary. Like Auburn may not have been able to clinch it in the final minutes of the Final Four game, but Will King is going to give it his best to make this happen. And I see a person at the gate for American Airlines at the gate for the 9 o'clock flight, and I just go up to them and like just say like, hey, it is okay if nothing can happen. I just have to try one more time. My daughter and I like my wife's leaving tonight because we've been pushed back from 8 o'clock this morning to now. Give her the whole rundown of what's going on, how sad Palmer is and all this. And she just looks up at me and goes, let me take a look real quick. Clickety clacking, get the flight number. She's looking and she goes, you know what? Why don't I just make your day today? You come with me. And she takes me on this
was an answered prayer.
She takes me on this long journey to this desk over here. And then the person at that desk is too busy. And then this desk over here needs help. And I'm basically just follow her around for 20 minutes as she does her job helping other people. And then finally she's just like, oh yeah, you. And she gets me on this terminal that apparently is the one that can actually look at stuff. And this whole time she's not told me whether it's going to happen or not. And then suddenly you just hear the and the boarding passes get printed out, and she just hands me 2 boarding passes to the 9 o'clock flight.
Yay!
And I'm just I get them, and I'm running back to Allie and Palmer. I'm like, I got it. We're gonna go.
We're getting home.
We're going home together.
So we all fly home at 9 o'clock.
We don't have seats. I look at the ticket and it says see gate attendant for seats. And so I'm totally fine. She told me I'm on the flight. I'm not worried about it. But then 10 minutes before the flight, every single one of those military guys shows up at the gate. And I'm they already bumped these guys off once and they're not supposed to. So I'm
it's me.
I don't know. I just immediately my gut my stomach sinks and I'm just oh, it's going to be us. We're going to get kicked again. And so this whole time we're so nervous. And we get up there, we scan our ticket, we get right on the flight.
We fly home. We land at 11, and it is pouring rain in Montgomery.
Absolute downpour.
Flooding. We had 4 inches of rain at our house.
And I'll be, if there isn't just one more little...
There were
there are 2 more, but this one's mine. Then there's one for Allie. So this little... When we dropped the truck off at the start of the trip, there is apparently in Montgomery Airport 2 different parking lots.
May I interrupt you?
You absolutely may.
I am carrying a sleeping, angry Palmer because she's clearly pushed past her limits. It's 11 o'clock at night. She's exhausted. And it's pouring rain. So we're let's go out the entrance with the covered walkway to the car.
Right, yeah.
We get all the way there. Will's got our bags. I've got Palmer. The door's roped off.
I forgot about that.
We can't go out that way.
Okay, so we walk back across to the other side of the airport, go back out, walk all, anyway. We get to the truck, and I start trying to get out, and I get to the little exit spot, and it's got one of those bars in front of it. And I'm okay, so I pull up thinking it's gonna, nope. Doesn't move. I look around. There's a couple other cars with me. Why is the bar not moving? Turns out there's 2 different types of parking at the airport. And normally it's obvious in big airports. They got big signs. Montgomery, Podunk Airport. Wasn't very clear.
Let's not say that. We've always had a lovely experience flying out of Montgomery. Yeah, we're not going to slander.
We've had a lovely experience because there's literally 3 gates. It's
Podunk. It's okay. No.
Signage is not the best. We parked in short-term parking, and apparently...
We parked?
You could have told me. Apparently, you can only get out of short-term parking during the day, I guess. So we go back to the entrance and happen to notice...
a gap.
A curb with some mulch and a big open gap, and we just... It's 11:45 at this point at night, and I just I'm out of here. Boom. Hop the curb, get to the other long-term parking, still make sure I go by the gate to pay my ticket. I'm expecting to get to the gate and then being
you can't
how did you get out of short? And I'm they're gonna there's a police officer that got pulled over there for somebody else. I'm there's a police officer sitting over here trying to help people, and I'm just thinking we're gonna get held here for another hour because I somehow jumped a curb to get out of short. I'm oh no. I hand him the ticket, say nothing. So glad your trip was great and you got back safely. I'm
she's have a lovely week.
Have a lovely week. And she just hands me the, my card back, and I'm just okay. Floor it, get out of there, get us home. And it's pouring down rain.
we get home, get Palmer to bed.
Her grandparents are there.
And they have, have napped while the boys were asleep, and they've been here at the house. And
by this time, it's like past 12.
Yeah, I set my phone down on like our entryway table.
It's officially Monday,
Yeah, I've got to be at work in a matter of hours, and my sweet Nana, I guess, picked up my phone thinking it was hers.
Well, we're like running around the house for a while, and I checked the truck multiple times, and like normally it's like
on my phone.
Normally it's like, Will, like, did you not look good in the truck? Like, I overlook things so easily. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty thorough on this one. I'm pretty sure. Suddenly Allie
I left
says,
it in Palmer.
Give me your phone. And she gets my phone, and she goes and looks at like the find my phone, find my people, whatever app, and just notices her avatar slowly moving further and further away.
Moving up the Eastern Boulevard. And I'm like, well, Nana accidentally took my phone and put it in her purse.
Yep. Just saw a phone sitting on the counter, did not check it at all, just assumed it was hers, and was just like, I'll take that and put it in her purse. So like, if there couldn't have just been one more, kick
in the nuts.
Kick in the nuts for the day, Allie's phone got snatched by her grandma.
But we were so glad to be home. So glad to be back.
We went straight to sleep.
We did.
Oh my goodness. I've never fallen asleep so fast in my life.
I'm sorry I was grouchy with you earlier. I owe you an apology.
It's fine.
I'm still tired.
As you can tell, we're still a little gassed.
I feel like everybody needs to know what
are you
sometimes
doing?
Around us right now, and I've been very distracted.
Don't out my look. Actually,
why do you have 3?
It's not 3.
What do you mean it's not 3? 1.
Oh, that must have been
2.
That must have been from last week.
And 3.
I only had 2 today.
That's not last week.
This one is. I only had 2 today. All right, let me show you this that you guys check this out. All right. I don't know what the brand is. Actually, maybe if I hold 2 of them together, I can see what the brand is. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
So gracious.
It's a meat.
It's like a puzzle.
It's called Mighty Spark, and it's like a beef stick, but it's chicken, and it's honey and jalapeno. It's only 60 calories. Good protein.
Per stick.
Good protein. They are so good. Like, these are also really good. The Chomps brand. This one's jalapeno. And the chicken ones.
There's a trash can not that far, though.
Incredible. They're so good. It was such a good snack.
Keep the pile over here on your
anyway,
desk.
great snack.
So,
get your meat stick. All that to say.
We made it.
It is insane how long a single day can feel when literally everything goes wrong. That one day felt like an entire week. Woke up in Austin, drove across Texas, not really because Texas is ginormous, but what felt like for us, the trip from Austin to Dallas is like us driving from where we live to the far north of our state to go see my parents. Like, it was just like an entire trip just to get to Dallas. Man, that was a long day.
Yep.
Long day. Now you know.
But we did it.
That was
a lot.
It was quite the debacle. So
yeah.
Anyway, there are a lot of small details to that as well, but clearly we are too tired to dig into each of them.
And
however,
grumpy, I guess. I need some sleep.
Anyway, I mean, I think my favorite part of the day was road spaghetti. That cracked me up.
My favorite part of the day? I don't know.
Probably looking at me, carrying our daughter, being such a good dad, being like, he's so cute. Look at him being such a good dad. No, I guess not.
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, if I said yes, you'd be like,
No, I wouldn't. I love compliments. You're the one who can't take a compliment.
Okay, that's enough. All right.
Still the greatest hat.
I feel kind of bad wearing it talking about this because you were such a champ on that travel day. But
you win some, you lose some. I had my moments though. It was a day. There were ups and downs all throughout it.
For sure.
I need to get a hat. I feel like I need to have a hat that's like something about you now. So we have like, yours is like, sorry about my husband, and I need to have one that's like,
you're welcome for my wife.
You're welcome. No. Will it have a pineapple on it?
Oh! I need to go so bad.
Oh no, I feel like mine will be something like
whatever she said.
What? That's what she said. No, but there would be two routes. One, it would be something about, how attractive you are, which would make you super uncomfortable, and that therefore is a win. Or it would be something about like you being like how you roast people and
I don't
stuff.
roast people. I
think there are quite a few people who would beg to differ.
One, you asked me to do that. Basically, you were like, "I'm gonna just show you."
We were sitting at my parents'
because
for
you were like flashing people's pictures at me.
I was talking about people and I was showing you their pictures. And then suddenly out of nowhere you just roasted one of them. And then I thought it was hilarious. In the privacy of
like our own conversation. So then you asked me to do it.
And
so you had to share. Not fair. Because I don't just go up roasting humans on the street that I don't know.
That's true.
Okay,
if someone is close to you, they are getting roasted.
I feel like I'm getting represented as a
human. Let me rephrase. So. If Allie is not your friend, she will not roast you. If you are friends with Allie, you are getting roasted. So if Allie is not making fun of you, she doesn't really like you. I'm sorry.
That's not how I talk. Lord. I don't have the time or energy to deal with that. Do you have anything else you need to say?
No, other than to just tease next week. Next week we're going to React Miami. And I have...
That's next
It is next week. Oh. Next Wednesday is when we leave. I have a secret project that I literally came up with the day we left to go to Austin in the Final Four.
Stay tuned.
So I'm a bit of a scramble to get that done before the conference, but it's gonna be awesome. If I have to do it
because you've said it. So
I do. And I've already roped a couple other people into it, so now I have to definitely do it. I'll talk more about that next week in our next week's episode. We'll do our early episode and drop it before we leave, because we'll be gone.
For all two of you who are sitting on pins and needles.
Ooh. It's a good one. It's a good project. I think it's going to be super fun. And we'll talk about React Miami. I'll talk about the project. And then Allie.
What?
Okay. So before we came up here, Allie, I bumped into her in the bathroom.
I was just standing there and you walked past me and I get body checked like this is hockey.
I'm 6'4". I'm very broad. Our bathroom has a narrow corner. I bumped into her.
But it's all the time. You either step on my feet or trip me. No.
And somehow you always put your little tiny feet right under mine right when I'm about to take a step.
No, I will not stand for this slander and injustice.
I bump into her and Allie just looks at me and says,
I'm clearly over it.
I'm bringing that up in your performance review. And so then I'm like, what performance review are you talking about? Who are we having She goes, that's it. We're going to have an episode and we're going to do performance reviews of each other. So I don't know when, but at some point on the docket for the future of this podcast, there's going to be a performance review episode. So hold on to your butts because that's probably going to get a little feisty.
It's a bit feisty.
What is that? What was that? There was a trend.
Things that give you the ick?
No.
Oh.
Although, yes, probably that one too. No, you just tell me those. You don't need a trend. You're
I'm please don't do that.
No, it was we listen and we do not judge or something.
That would be so scary if we did that.
So it's I feel like that's what this is about to happen. It's this
you
tell stuff that you you don't actually tell your spouse because it's not a big deal and you are happily married. So you just say it doesn't matter. I love her more than I care about whatever that small thing is.
We can't do that.
We could. I don't think we have a ton.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm not stepping into that trap.
Thank you once again for joining us.
We made it.
I'm
going to go to sleep now.
I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.
Have a lovely.
We're going to go get a little ice cream and go to bed. Bye.